Good morning, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe, this Sunday morning, July 5th, 2020, the day after Independence Day. Let's prepare ourselves for service. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale, relaxing the body and the mind, opening the heart, allowing ourselves to surrender to Spirit completely in this moment. Sinking into that place where our awareness of the divine is heightened. The seat of all knowledge, all wisdom, all love, that expresses as us in this life of ours. This day after Independence Day, we pray for our country, for our leaders, for all those who live in this beautiful, beautiful country. May each of us continue to honor and bless it, to be good citizens, to take care of this country, spreading love and peace and joy, and being in gratitude for the prosperity that we all have at our fingertips here in this free nation. Let's breathe in again together. Inhale. Hold it at the top. Exhale. Keep breathing deeply in for a few seconds. Holding it at the top and exhaling, knowing that breath is life and life is breath. And that God is at the center and the allness of it. That there is no life without Spirit. Continue to breathe deeply, knowing that in this time together we will all be fed and nurtured, that we will be given all the information that we need to move forward from this day forward. And so with deep gratitude, we step into our centering song, Spirit's Prayer. Together.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
So, in that spirit of love and faith, we now bless all children all over this wonderful world of ours. Let us recite together. Children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. And our inspiration moment is from 365 Science of Mind this morning. In the beauty and quiet of this moment, I commune with the divine presence. The divine presence within each of us is both the center and circumference of our real being. It is the infinite presence that inhabits eternity and finds a dwelling place in our own consciousness. We recognize it as the only authority there is. We know we are one with it and in it. There is an infinite self-knowingness, which we call spirit. It is ruled by law and impelled by love. Each of us is an individual center in it, without being an individual separate from it. Therefore, God is uniquely individual and uniquely personal to each one of us. We are not one in God or one with God. We are one of God. Let us keep our thoughts turned to the divine presence within us and within one another, deeply desiring that we become more aware of the love we have for one another and the world. May our consciousness be open to a deeper understanding of life. In the beauty and quiet of this moment, I commune with the divine presence. The certainty of love and friendship flows into my consciousness, and I feel a deep peace. I give thanks for my increasingly beautiful life. From Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Let's recite together 3 times our affirmation for the day. In the beauty and quiet of this moment, I commune with divine presence. In the beauty and quiet of this moment, I commune with divine presence. In the beauty and quiet of this moment, I commune with divine presence. And we are very blessed this morning to have Lainey Bernstein, one of our regulars here again.
Good morning, Unity Spiritual Center. This song is called Something's Calling Me, and it was written by one of my favorite New Thought musicians, Jamie Lula. Something's calling me. Something's feet. I've got my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. The long dark night, my soul, it wanders. I can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, I surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Oh, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Truth is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Thank you, Lainey. What a perfect setup for this talk today. So last Sunday I talked about my 100 days of meditation and invited all of you for a journey on 100 days starting, I said today, and then I have delayed it, and we're going to start next Sunday, July 12th. Because whenever we go on a journey, we need to prep for that journey. Anytime we get ready to travel somewhere, we need to pack our things. You get the suitcases out, you decide and think about what it is you need to wear when you're away. What are you going to clothe yourself in? What else do you need to take? Are there special toiletries? If you're going overseas, do you need to have immunizations that you've never had before? So there's a lot that goes in to preparing for a trip, for a journey. And this 100 days journey to the secret place is no different. I believe we need to go into it with great intention and knowing what it is that we want to call forth in that journey. I do believe, as Lainey sang, that we are being called to something deeper. Meditation always is a calling to something deeper. And we need to prep ourselves for that calling and for that journey. So, this is what H. Emily Cady, who's the one who talked about the secret place that I read last week. This is again from her book, Lessons in Truth. She said, sitting in silence is not merely a sort of lazy drifting. It is a passive but definite waiting upon God. When you want to do this, take a time when you are not likely to be disturbed, and when you can, for a little while, lay off all care. Begin your silence by lifting up your heart in prayer to the Father of your being. Do not be afraid that if you begin to pray, you will be too, quote unquote, orthodox. You're not going to supplicate God, who has already given you whatever you ask for. You have already learned that before you call, He has sent that which you desire. Otherwise, you would not desire it. So H. Emily Cady's talking about going in intentionally, having a prayer, an affirmation before you step into that meditation time. So as we prepare for this 100 days starting next Sunday, the 12th, what is it that you want from this? It's important always when you start something new to know what your why is. Why? I believe that we're being called forth, but why are you saying yes? Why do you say yes to something like that? What do you think is within you that is urging you forward to discipline yourself to 100 days of consecutive meditating? What is that? Do you have a...
To contribute to what's happening in the world, to lend my peace and my presence.
Yeah. Being called forth, you're being beckoned forth to be something positive for the world. And that comes from the inside out. We've seen what's been happening when people act from the outside and what's calling them and being reactionary, as we often talk about. But if we're really being called to do something special in the world, that calling for something special, for something positive, for something loving, something deeper than we've ever been before, comes from within. What's your why for this? Be where you've never been before. That's what I love about the lyrics of that song. Something is calling me a little deeper than I have ever been before. A similar lyrics from one of my favorite contemporary Christian songs, Oceans. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. I love that line. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. And I believe as we pack for this trip, this 100 days journey to the secret place, it is indeed faith and trust that we take with us. Faith in the unknown, because we don't know where this is going to take us. Yes, you may be called to be something positive in the world, but probably as Lainey said that out loud here in this room, she may not know what that looks like. And it takes faith and trust to know that whatever it is she's called to do through this journey and at the end of it and further into the world is something she's equipped to do boldly and fully from that calling. Faith and trust is what we pack for this trip. And I do believe, because we are living the I Am this year of 2020, and each of us has selected one of the 12 powers, that it's no mistake that the word that chose you for this year is also what you packed for this 100 days. So we've been on this journey with that power, each of us, for 6 months. Some of us may have forgotten what that word was. Or maybe we're not as present with it. Maybe we're not as aware of that calling because months have gone by and maybe we've just lost that enthusiasm we had when we started. I believe that that word that chose you and that you said yes to at the beginning of the year is important on this trip. So what are you going to prepare and how? H. Emily Cady says to have a prayer. What is your prayer for this 100 days? Are you willing to say, Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders? The rest of that lyric is, Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would lead me. Let me walk upon the waters with you. What does that mean? What could it mean for you to trust without borders in this 100 days and say, Spirit, lead me there. Call me to something deeper, whatever that is. Yeah.
You know, my favorite hymn has become my prayer that, here I am, Lord, it is I.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear you calling in the night.
Another beautiful lyric.
I go with one cry. I will go, Lord, if you lead me, and I will hold you people in my heart. I just love it. It touches me to no end. I love it so much, and it talks my thinking, my thoughts about when I'm calling, when I feel that God is calling on me.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, yeah, I will go. You lead me, I will go.
So perhaps for this 100 days, what if you sang that song prior to every meditation session? Yeah.
Like I said, it has become my prayer.
Mm-hmm. And what Lainey said, and you may not have heard online or in the rest of the room, was that perhaps what she is doing and expressing from her humanness is not enough, and she's being called to something deeper. Something deeper. We're all being called to this. There's no mistake that I did that first 100 days and then invited you into this. And I do believe that what's happening in the world is calling each of us to something deeper, but what? So, yes, we need to have faith and trust along on this journey and be open. Each time that you sit in meditation, be open to whatever it is that is calling you forward.
Sermon I saw this morning was also about stepping outside of your comfort zone. And I felt that seemed to be a message for me this morning since I was stepping outside of my comfort zone. But it requires that as
Yeah.
well, a leap of faith.
Coming outside of our comfort zones spiritually.
You know, when I hear the word, and I will hold you people in my heart, it's so much that you can almost see love in every face. And you see kindness, you see love, you see, it's my way of accepting whoever is in my presence, whoever is, I see whoever I hear talk, even without the, with the mask on, I can see the beauty in that. In some people that is so obvious and so real.
Yes. That is something deeper, to be able to see love in everyone that we meet. How would that change the world if we did that for this 100 days and beyond? That is a calling to something deeper. Being called outside of your comfort zone to something else. So as we prep for this trip, I think we need to think about, how do we get started? How do you want to do this? Have a plan A and be flexible about what the meditation looks like. So do you want to prepare a place where you will meditate in your home? Maybe you're in your backyard. Maybe you're in the quiet of your bedroom. Maybe there's a special chair or a spot somewhere else in your house where you want to be able to sit. Maybe you need to talk to the others in your household to say and to let them know that you're going to be taking some quiet time and you want to be undisturbed. Maybe you have to prep those that you live with for this journey to let them know that you're going to be doing something special and you need quiet during that time. Ritual's important to me. So one of the things I do whenever I sit in meditation is I light a candle first. And then I do something physical. I may do some yoga asanas prior to sitting in meditation because it just helps me settle everything down and relaxes me. And now that I have that process, it allows me to drop more deeply, more quickly into my meditation. And everything just kind of clears out for me. But that's a process that I've built over time. And so in this 100 days, you'll have an opportunity to see and discover what works for you so that you can be in that secret place, totally open to Spirit and whatever you are being called to in that 100 days. Whatever. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. I think all of us can say that we trust Spirit probably a lot, but maybe we don't trust with every area of our lives. It took me a while before I trusted Spirit to bring me the right relationship. Took me a while to trust Spirit with my finances, even though I wasn't doing such a hot job myself in either department. And when I trusted and let go and said, bring me the desires of my heart, man, did the doors open. And things flooded into my life that I could not have imagined. Far better. It's always been far better than I imagined and affirmed. I do a lot of affirmations every single day. And I recite them more than once a day. And yes, every single time I've had a manifestation, it has blown me out of the water. And most of the time, it has dropped me to my knees with tears of gratitude. That's the kind of thing that can happen when we surrender fully. And so as we go into these 100 days, I encourage you to surrender fully. Pack an open heart for the trip, an open mind.
I love the word surrender.
Surrender.
Surrender. Mike and I experienced a miracle last week that I cannot share with you because it involves someone that will not want to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, what? What? You know, this real? You know, just, I say it's a miracle because sometimes we don't believe that it can actually happen. We doubt.
We doubt.
You doubt, or you consider yourself, am I worth it? Am I worth this kindness, this generosity, this love? And when it happens, yes, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
And I allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
I allowed that miracle to happen in our life.
Mm-hmm.
When I surrender to the love of God, when I surrender to Jesus, that is just so beautiful, so amazing.
Yes. So perhaps what we also need to pack
Yes.
is one of the 12 powers, which is release, to let go of your preconceived notions about what is possible for you and possible for this world. And just be completely wide open. So we're preparing for this. Think about where it is, the logistics of your meditation. What is your morning schedule like? Do you have to leave and go to work? Do you have to get up earlier? Do you need to shift something in your schedule? Do you need to make room for this commitment? Who do you need to tell about it in your household, if anyone? If you have pets, do you need to gather your pets? I found when I had cats, they would come and they would sit with me in my meditation. And they would just lay down on the floor around me whenever I sat down. But if you don't have pets that quiet down like that, you might need to figure out what to do with them so that you're not always pulled away from the secret place. They may, just as your thoughts begin to quiet and your mind begins to quiet, your pets may quiet down as well. Your household may quiet down as well if you have children, little ones. Often what's going on in our household has to do with what it is our energy is giving off at that very time. So if your household's chaotic, perhaps it is because we are chaotic. And as we go through these 100 days and we start to sit, and everybody in the household, pets and people included, start to see that you are taking quiet time in the morning or in the evening, perhaps they will quiet as well. But make room for this journey. It's part of packing for the trip. It's part of getting ready for the journey. Think about your why. Why am I doing this? Perhaps you want to write it down. Prepare yourself with a special scripture that's meaningful to you, or a song like Cece talked about that song. Find something that helps you fall into that place so that you are intentional about this and you're creating a space for this journey that calls you in every single day, that you can't wait to sit in the silence and commune with your divine nature and that divine presence that we talked about in the inspirational moment. prepare yourself for this. It is a very, very special time. This 100 days. It's no mistake we're doing it now, at this time in your life, your individual lives, and this time in history. We are all here at this particular time in the history of the world for something special. How will you prepare? And when you sit in meditation starting next Sunday, what will it look like? Decide now. Take some initiative to prep for the journey. Think about, do some trial runs. Do I want to sit outside and meditate, or is it too distracting? And you decide you want to come inside and do it. Do you want to find that song and somehow get it on your phone, perhaps, so as soon as it's time to sit and meditate, you can just hit that particular song and have it start playing. You don't have to waste time fidgeting around trying to get ready that particular day. Have everything lined up. Because sometimes when we're starting something new, all we need is one excuse, one delay, one thing, and we say, oh, can't do it today. Decide how much time you want to spend in meditation each day to start. If you're not doing anything now, you may want to just start with 5 or 10 minutes. Because like I've shared before, 5 minutes was an eternity for me when I started meditating. An eternity. So decide what amount of time you're going to start with. And have a timer or something to help you pace that time. So it starts and ends. You don't have to keep looking at your phone or at the clock to decide, have you done your 5 minutes? Because trust me, 30 seconds in, you'll be thinking 5 minutes surely must be up. Yes. So what do you need to get ready for the journey? Have it all laid out. Get yourself prepared. Be intentional about stepping into this so that you can be wide open. Wide open. You can be wide open if you pack faith and trust with you. When you have that confidence that something beautiful is going to happen here, even though I don't have a clue as to what it is. Faith and trust means that you know Spirit is calling you to something deeper that is just going to blossom in your life and bring you goodness you've never experienced before. It's going to set you forward on a path you could not have foreseen. It's going to bring something up within you that's going to affect the world in a way that you never thought you could affect the world. Get ready. Get ready. Just like Lainey sang so beautifully. Before every meditation, perhaps you just want to say, oh Lord, bring me to something deeper. I love how her voice just filled this room. That's the kind of feeling that we all had as she sang that song. That's the kind of feeling that's possible when you sit intentionally in meditation with your eyes in your heart and your arms wide open for whatever Spirit is calling you to. That kind of feeling that just wraps around your heart. And you can't contain it. You cannot contain it. So we're going on this journey. You don't have to wait till July 12th to start. You can start now. I changed our Facebook group from In the Silence with Unity Saxe to the 100 Days Journey to the Secret Place. There are a couple of questions. It's a private group, but you can ask to join. There are a couple of questions to answer, saying, are you committing to the 100 days? And will you hold confidential anything that someone posts within that group? So anybody can find the group, but not everybody can see the post until they're invited in and accepted into the group. But check out the Facebook group. If you want, download the app Insight Timer onto your phone, and you can set up preset schedules for your meditation. You can have bells and gongs and chimes and all kinds of beautiful things helping to pace you through the time that you've set for this meditation. Those are just some tools to help you. And next Saturday at 11 a.m., we're going to have a Zoom call so that we can talk about this. You can ask questions. You can share information if you want. If you have any concerns or anxieties about this time, how do I sit in meditation? What do I need to do? Do I have to sit in a lotus position? Do I have to have flowing robes? Do I need to have incense burning? Sometimes we need that. All you need is an open heart and a willingness to be in the silence. A willingness to go deeper. It's all you need. Doesn't matter where you sit. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. Doesn't matter if you're inside your house, outside your house. It doesn't matter.
It's a commitment to yourself.
It's a commitment to self. And your willingness to have a more intimate relationship with this divine presence expressing as you. A willingness. All you have to do is say yes. And then get in the quiet. Absolute quiet. And just be. Be ready. Be open. Be open. Let's take this into meditation. We're deeply grateful for the callings of our hearts, for deeper waters, we are deeply grateful for the omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence of Spirit. Because that enables us to say yes fully and to step into this 100 days without a clue as to where we are going to be led. But knowing that through the journey, at the end of it and beyond, there will surely be goodness, joy, peace, prosperity, vibrant health. We are deeply grateful for the ability to commune with this divine presence, to be a part of creation, to have the power of creativity, to create lives that are the manifestations of our dreams, to be able to give and show love without condition, to be able to have faith and trust without borders. To be able to step forward boldly. The ability to choose. The ability to say yes. The ability to have prosperity in every area of our lives. Fulfilling work. Deep, loving, abiding friendships. To have spiritual community that is nurturing and supportive, that lifts us up and feeds us. To have a physical life that is vibrant. To have mental focus that is sharp and discerning. To have clarity, to have strength and power that is infinite. To be able to smash through our own glass ceilings. To do and be what we have never done or been before. Yes, to expand beyond our limits. And so as we prepare now, this coming week, this 7 days leading up to the 100 days journey to the secret place, we open our arms, our hearts, and our minds fully. We say, yes, here I am, Lord. Here I am, Spirit. Take me into the deep waters. And let me walk upon that water wherever you will lead me. Wherever you will lead me. And so we step forward now boldly, in full confidence, full trust, full faith. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. And so while we are in this meditative space, we call up any prayer requests that we have. For those of you who are watching us online, you may want to say out loud those that you would like to pray for. For Pete. Deborah. Paul. Calvin. Marilyn. For Eddie, and for Harper and her parents. For the Silverberg family. For Sue. and her fur baby Blue. And so for each of these blessed souls, and for all those who are unnamed at this very moment, we know that they are whole, perfect, and complete, and their highest and best is now at work in their lives. We hold that vision of their highest and best in our hearts, in this moment, and in each moment going forward. And we offer this in the name and in the nature of Jesus the Christ, who is our brother and way shower. If you have our Unity Saxe church app on your phone, I invite you to add your prayer requests to our prayer wall. And then that way people can pray with you and you can pray for others who have put their request on that prayer wall. Yes, and I will make sure that we have another link on Facebook and there's one on our website for that as well. So now let's prepare for our celebration of giving by reciting our prayer together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is. And now we're blessed once more with Lainey Bernstein.
This song is called Holy Light by Linda Webb Kakaba, another New Thought musician who I admire greatly. She passed away about 10 years ago, but left behind some amazing music. Holy Light. Feel a holy light coming from my soul, luminous and bright, and I'm complete, oh. I feel a holy light coming deep inside, in majesty and might, sacred and sanctified. I feel a holy light shining in my dreams, telling me nothing is impossible for you and me. When I don't feel enough, got too much life to hold, I let my arms fall free, and I let the love take control. I lay my troubles down, they vanish from my sight, in wonder and delight. I feel a holy light. I feel impossible for you and me. I feel a holy light. I hear a holy call, and I don't get it right. No, I stumble and I fall, and I don't care at all, because I feel a holy light, a holy light, a holy light, a holy light.
Thank you, Lainey. So we just have one announcement for today. Next Sunday, we'll have our online Zoom discussion after service at 12:30. So the link is on Facebook and the link is on our website as well. Let's bless our offering. We give thanks for all these tithes and offerings that overflow into this community so that we can continue to do the work that we are called to do. For the people who enter these doors and who watch us online, so that we can do a more perfect work in this world, where we spread a message of peace, love, joy, and prosperity. Amen. And now it's time for our prayer for protection. Let's recite together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so as part of a celebration of this July 4th weekend, I invite you all to stand with me so we can recite the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll wait for our American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And so in this moment, we stand together for a moment of silence as we all pray a private prayer for whatever it is you hold for this country and all those who make it great. We are truly blessed, for we know that each person within this country has some part in making it great. We all weave and are part of this fabric of this nation that makes it a beautiful melting pot. And so we hold all people here in this nation with love, in peace, and with generosity. And we say namaste to everyone. Amen. And now let's recite our Unity Spiritual Center vision affirmation together. We are a growing, thriving spiritual community. We are stepping more fully into our innate divinity and earnestly expressing our I am nature each day. We are freely, generously, and lovingly to the places where we receive our spiritual food, and we are manifesting overflowing abundance in every area of our lives like never before. Our collective energy is a positive magnetic force that attracts spiritual seekers to our center every week, and our Sunday services and events are now filled to capacity. We are peace, we are prosperity, we are joy, we are love, we are Unity Spiritual Center Saxe. Thank you very much for joining us this Sunday morning. Have a blessed week. Check us out on Facebook and on our website so that you can be a part of the 100 Days Journey to the Secret Place. Contact me if you have any questions. Namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday.